Close your eyes. Imagine that you're sitting in a big auditorium filled with people, and everybody's talking and laughing just loud enough for the entire room to hum with vibration. Then, all of a sudden, the lights start to dim down to darkness. As if by magic, all of the sound also begins to disperse. And then, a voice says, "Welcome to the theater." You can open your eyes. This is pretty much how every live theater begins. That voice will then tell you what you can and can't do in the auditorium, introduce the show, and the show begins. However, this experience is not something that many Pepperdine students get to experience, at least not on campus. We as a student body do not go to any of the Pepperdine theater productions that Pepperdine puts on. This is in part because we don't know the benefits of seeing theater, we don't partake in many on-campus activities at all, and a lack of familiarity with the theater. However, viewing live theater has many benefits that I will tell you about, and has led me to believe that Pepperdine should institute a policy that requires undergraduate students to go see at least one Pepperdine show a year as part of their fine arts requirement. Now, we as a student body don't spend a lot of time in Smothers Auditorium. We don't go to plays, we don't go to musicals, and we don't go to many of the orchestra concerts. Now, in our defense, we also don't really do anything on campus at all. This is evidenced by the fact that if you're here on the weekend, it's basically a ghost town. There is nobody anywhere, and you're lucky if you find one person walking around. We also don't go to very many dorm activities either, which is really surprising considering they usually take place where you live, and they always give out free food, which college students love free food. So, now, is this just because college students don't have a lot of time to go anywhere or do anything? And so I considered that. And so I decided to compare Pepperdine theater attendance tickets with a similar college. I decided to compare it with Harding University. Now, for those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you, Harding University is another Christian college that's in Searcy, Arkansas. Searcy, Arkansas is a middle of nowhere town in the state of Arkansas. It's absolutely exponentially smaller than Malibu, but the undergraduate program at Harding is about the same as the undergraduate program here at Pepperdine. This is Harding's front lawn. Now, I contacted the Dean of Theater at Harding, Stephen Fry, and the Dean of Theater here at Pepperdine, Fry Friedman, and I got both of the attendance statistics for the last 3 years of shows at each college, and I made a graph for you guys. As you can see, Harding demolishes Pepperdine in almost all sales except for one show a year. Now, that's because Harding puts on 4 shows, not including the opera, not Harding. Pepperdine puts on 4 shows, not including our opera. Harding puts on 3, and they still outsell us. If we're just looking at it by a year, last year, Harding sold about 3,000 more tickets than Pepperdine, and we had an extra show, and they're about the same size. I don't know about you guys, but that's kind of depressing. So, I believe that our lack of involvement in theater is in part because we don't believe that there are benefits to going to see theater. We think that everything that I get from theater, I can get from going to see a movie, reading the same play, or reading a book that would probably be better anyway. However, this is not the case. There are numerous benefits to going to see live theater. For example, Jay Green, the head of Department of Education Reform at the University of Arkansas, said, "Going out and seeing live theater affects us in a way that reading a play or watching a movie does not." In the study, How Theater Encourages Well-Being and Can Engage a Wider Audience, they discovered that going to watch live theater encourages psychological stimulation, can improve your vocabulary, increases your tolerance of other people by introducing you to a more diverse and broader worldview, and can help you understand what other people are thinking and feeling. In another study, Involvement in Arts and Success in Secondary Schools, they discovered that going to see live theater improves your critical reflection of social interactions, helps you define your values and other important meanings to you, can improve your reading comprehension, helps you find what you have in common with others, which helps you create a common ground with them, and improves your ability to retain and retell stories in a way that gives off the meaning of the stories, which is extremely important in the 21st century, not only in school, such as giving a speech or a presentation, but also in your vocational life when being able to explain to someone what the most important thing or what the meaning about something is usually what's going to get you hired. In another educational study, Critical Week, Learning in Arts and Student Academic and Social Development, they discovered that viewing live theater helps prepare you for the real world by introducing you to problems and issues in a safe one. It helps you decide what words mean and the meaning behind actions, helps you look deeper into human relationships and the motivations behind individual actions, and helps you reflect on your experiences and learn from them. In a psychological study on aging and mental health, Dr. Meeks and company found that viewing live theater helps create a sense of belonging that is then compounded and increased the longer you go see theater. In another study, they found, I already said it, but studied encouraging theater in the well-being and engage a wider audience. They found that it creates a sense of community, which is extremely impressive considering a sense of community seems to be the first thing that's leaving the United States. And James S. Catterall, a professor at the UCLA Education and Info Studies, the principal investigator and founder of the Center of Research on Creativity at the California Institute of Arts and the Institute of Arts in London, found in his study that students who go to see theater, watch fewer hours of TV, are engaged in more community service, and are less bored in school. In the same study, he found that going to see theater helps prepare you for the real world. In a psychological study, they also found, Meeks summarized that viewing live theater is a combined social, cognitive, and affective experience that transcends all other forms of entertainment. Now, even though there's all these benefits, people still aren't going to see theater. And I think that's because we don't know what we're going to get. We're not really sure what to expect, and what we don't know scares us. However, this is not needed at all, because all you have to do is go online and type in arts.pepperdine.edu, and it'll pull up a page that will give you a list of all of the events that Pepperdine is putting on that year. Pick an event. Which one you say? Ragtime! Why not? And then it'll show you when the show is, what time it is, how you can buy tickets, and give you a short description of the show, as well as anything in the show that might be too intense or triggering. Now, even with all of these benefits and easily accessible information, people still aren't going, which I believe because of that, I think that it is Pepperdine's responsibility to implement a policy that forces us to go, basically. I think Pepperdine should mandate that undergraduate students go see at least one show a year as part of their fine arts credit. Now, you're probably thinking, that's way too much. I'm super busy. I have all of this stuff, and it's just going to make my workload absolutely impossible. But that's not the case at all. Pepperdine puts on 3 plays, an opera, and a musical every year. That's 5 shows over the course of a year. That means that there's going to be a bunch of different stuff you can choose from. So you can probably find something that at least mildly interests you. And it'll be easy to figure out a way to fit that into your schedule. If one semester is lighter than the other, go see the show then. Additionally, a show is only 1 to 2 hours. So it's not like it's going to take up all of your time. And it requires no prerequisite knowledge. So all you have to do is show up and sit down. And then the show's over. There can be a QR code at the entrance of the theater so that you scan it when you go in, and when you go out, they know that you're there, and you get the credit. Now, this is all fine and dandy, but this policy does not exist yet. So what can you do now? I'm so glad you asked. Well, you can start going to see shows. You may not know what the season is this year, but I'm here to tell you. So we already had the show Future Proof, which was in September, and it was absolutely great. The next show that's coming up is Ragtime. Ragtime, like I said, is in a few weeks. It's the 2 weekends before Thanksgiving. It's a musical, and you should also see it. Then in January, we have our Christmas show, which is Miss Bennet, Christmas at Pemberley. Is the basic sequel to Pride and Prejudice. And then we have our opera, which is 2 short one-acts. And then in April, we have a check-off piece, The Cherry Picture. With all these different options, it should be easy for you to find something that mildly interests you. And because we're all students, it's super cheap. It's only $10. And if you can convince your teacher to make it a requirement, then it's only $5, and your teacher gets free tickets. Now, another reason you should go see these shows is usually they're worked and staffed entirely by students, and everyone in it is also a student. And so, go support your friends. Show them that you love them and the work that they're doing. want it and appreciate it. Additionally, when you do decide to go see a show, promote about it. Take pictures of it, put it on Instagram, tell everyone you know about it. We need the promotion, and you'll probably get likes from everyone in the theater department. And then after you go see your show, talk about it with your friends. Tell them what you liked, what you didn't like. If you thought it was great, tell them. If it was the worst thing you've ever seen, tell them. We don't care why you're coming. We just want you to show up. So, lastly, sign this petition. Click on this link and go to change.org and sign the petition to raise awareness for this to the Pepperdine officials so that they can implement this policy. In conclusion, it's obvious that there are many things about human theater that helps us and makes us better. It improves our sense of belonging and community, it increases our emotional intelligence, and it increases our academic comprehension. So it's obvious that there's no reason for you not to go. So the next time all your friends are standing around trying to decide what you're going to do this weekend, maybe you should suggest going to see a show. And then when all of your friends are finding your seats and the lights dim and the sound begins to get quieter, you can turn to your friends and with confidence and excitement say, "Welcome to the theater."